What was that pride demon's true angle?
Are you alright? Say something, please.
Where am I? Is this the Fade?
You're in the dormitory. Take a deep breath. You're safe. Oh, I'm glad you're alright. They carried you in this morning. I didn't even realize you'd been gone all night. I've heard about apprentices who never come back from harrowings. Is it really that dangerous? What was it like?
Oh, let's see. It was a test of ability, that's all. Yeah, we're supposed to keep the harrowing a secret because people... It's a test of courage as well, so people don't think they have a chance of passing.
There must be something more, or they'd tell the apprentices what's involved. I know I'm not supposed to know, but we're friends. Just a little hint and I'll stop asking, I promise.
Yeah, sure. You have to enter... I had to enter the Fade.
Really? That's it?
No. And if a demon possesses you, that's it for you, buddy.
That makes sense. They want to see if you can resist the demon and stop yourself from becoming an abomination. And now you get to move to the nice Mage's quarters upstairs. I'm stuck here and I don't know when they'll call me for my harrowing.
Don't worry about it too much, dude.
Easy for you to say. I've been here
maybe,
longer than
but...
you have. Sometimes I think they just don't want to test me.
Okay, don't be paranoid, man. Actually, this is a good question. Doesn't everyone go through a harrowing?
The tranquil never go through a harrowing. You do the harrowing, the rite of tranquility, or you die. That's what happens.
What is the rite of tranquility now? I was never told this in magic class.
You've seen the tranquil around the tower, like Owain who runs the stockroom. He's so cold. No, not even cold. There's just nothing in him. It's like he's dead but still walking. His voice, his eyes are lifeless.
What did they do to him?
He's been made tranquil. I don't know how they do it exactly, but you're cut off from the Fade. It takes away your magic abilities, along with your dreams and emotions.
Oh no, I love my emotions. I would hate to lose them. How is that possible anyway?
The Fade is the dream realm. Maybe it's a side effect of being cut off from the Fade. No dreams, no emotions? Apprentices can ask to be made tranquil if they fear the harrowing. But the circle also forces tranquility on those they feel are weak. And sometimes they force it upon apprentices they think might be too dangerous as mages. I shouldn't waste your time with this. I was supposed to tell you to see Irving as soon as you woke up.
Where is... well, obviously he wants to see if I passed, so where would he be?
He said he'd be in his study upstairs. You'd better not keep him waiting. We can speak later.
Did you hear anything?
And that...
Is he awake? Why do you care? Are you best friends now?
I'm just curious. That Templar, Cullen, said it was the quickest, cleanest harrowing he'd ever seen. He must be so talented.
Someone sounds jealous.
I just know I'll be terrified when my time comes. Like Wendell was. He'd throw up every day for the next week just thinking about it.
Getting catty, are we? Alright then. So first, we'll take this off the quick bar because we don't need that at all. Looks like bathing areas, I suppose. But yeah. Now we have to play that. Do I want to play with the Alt-Tab highlight button?
It has begun.
Which is... This is the part of the origin where you basically just get to run around.
We're on duty.
Yeah, there's no one here.
Someone's always watching. I swear it's like the walls have eyes. Shh.
Congratulations on the harrowing.
I've played this game a dozen times on the PlayStation 3. And I swear I could never hear the background music like this at all. Alright.
It has begun.
Did you hear? Hear what?
A Charm of Still Waters. Yeah, like, okay, look. The reason that this DLC is so... Even Origins Bioware 2000 early Knots DLC was just... Do you want to have a measly Charm of Still Waters that gives you +1 willpower, or have a pre-order bonus Pearl of the Anointed to give you +1 to every attribute, plus more money when
Why
you
would
find it?
anyone do something so stupid? That's a death sentence. Powerful? You can bend others to your will and force demons into your service. That's what I hear anyway.
Well, aren't you sus? Alright then. Looting everything is pretty much just the whole pastime. Because you might as well just turn that loot into something better
Must
for you.
control the fire with your will. Keep the flames steady. We don't want it sputtering and leaping about. That's what causes most of the injuries.
Injuries? But...
Steady. It reacts to your emotions. If you panic, it will... No. Breathe. You know, in my experience, flint and tinder works just as well. Maybe we should start with that.
Yeah, you can see why some people might consider our harrowing to be, like, extraordinarily fast.
If you remember what the chantry says about magic.
Magic must serve man, and not rule over him.
There, aren't the children just precious?
Oh, well, I thought I was going to click on something else. Oh well. Yeah.
Concentrate, hold the shield.
Yeah, that was an actual fireball spell that did actual damage
I
to
am
me.
not your enemy. Fear is your enemy. It is a weakness that can be exploited.
No?
Then stand firm and know you can resist whatever I throw at you. Again!
Hey, you actually resisted it. That was Mana Clash. But yeah. So, if you guys have ever seen anyone play Skyrim, like yours truly, you'll probably recognize the whole ward, test of fireball portion of the thing from Skyrim.
Welcome to the Circle's stockroom of magical items. My name is Owain. How may I assist you?
Are you really tranquil, Mage? What is the stockroom for?
The stockroom stores components used in magical and alchemical experiments. Do you require something?
Are you really tranquil, Mage?
I voluntarily submitted to the right of tranquility. I was unwilling to undergo the harrowing. I find this state agreeable.
Let's see. You actually like being this way.
I see the world with clarity. I remember the days when my mind was filled with inconvenient and seething emotions. Now things are simple.
So, right, okay. Tranquility in Origins is actually... sounds pretty sad, because as human beings, we do not know what it would be like to interact with someone who genuinely does not have the ability to emote. Being born a clinical sociopath is not the same thing. It is just a very, very strange idea for us as a species to comprehend. So we take that and use it in different ways in our media. What happened during the Tranquility Rite?
I was ordered to never speak of it. I cannot go against the Circle's wishes.
So what was becoming tranquil like?
It is difficult to describe. I would perhaps compare it to being plunged into a pool of ice-cold water.
I'm not gonna say you're not a person anymore. That's the main thing. I don't want to be mean and say you're not a person any longer.
Very well. Goodbye.
That's just a thing. And yeah, you can't say we aren't people if we don't have the ability to emote, because that's just that's what some people might say about that sort of thing. Alright.
Not likely. The Chantry would do something before it came to that.
Will they? They haven't done anything, and I've heard that the Equitarians are starting to soften a little on the Libertarian position.
Sympathy for the position isn't the same as support. Yet. As far as I know, most Equitarians prefer to remain allied with the Loyalists. You can see why, don't you? Just think of what the Chantry would do if suddenly the Circles were petitioning for more independence, or even a split.
Won't be pretty.
Ah, those short-sighted Libertarians. They'll get their way and take us all down with them.
I think someone's here to speak to you, Senior Torren. Hello, were you looking for something?
What were that other mage talking about?
Oh, the fraternities. Groups of mages with a common agenda. I think we should all be isolationists. Stay in some remote mountain town far away from the mundanes who hate us.
I mean, oh man, we just dipped straight into circle politics, mage politics, because the way the whole circle stuff works, I think we'll have to table that for now to get back into it later. But yeah, I mean, if we do, they'll just, yeah, people fear what they don't understand. So if we just run away in secret, they're not going to accept us as people.
They'll never learn that. They don't want to. I'd go hide alone in the wilds if I could. But you know they just brand me an apostate and hunt me down. There is no leaving the circle. It's till death do us part. Romantic, isn't it?
What is an apostate?
If you leave the circle, you become an apostate. And the punishment for leaving is death. Pretty grim, huh?
There must be mages who aren't part of the circle, though, objectively speaking.
I've heard of hedge witches who've managed to survive on their own, eluding the circle for a lifetime. But if the Templars discover them, well, you know what happens. Then there are stories about the Dalish elf clans having great magic. But who knows what's truth and what's fiction when it comes to the Dalish?
Alright, So who are you, good sir?
I'm Njal, a mage just like you. I've seen you around, haven't I? I must have.
Alright, can't say chat.
Alright, have a good day.
It shall be done. Hello. Congratulations on your harrowing last night. Good work.
Tell me about the fraternities. I know what you're talking about now.
They're found in all circles throughout Thedas. Groups of enchanters who hold similar viewpoints, who band together to make their voices heard. The most influential fraternity are the Equitarians. They are moderates and believe in a code of conduct that all mages should adhere to. Then there are the Chantry apologists, the Loyalists. The Chantry says something and they follow it to the letter. The Lucrosians just want to make money, and the Isolationists would like us all to be hermits and live on an island. Then, of course, there are the Libertarians. They want more power for the Circle, more autonomy.
Hence, they're called liberals. So, yeah, that's basically how it comes down. Isolationists want freedom, but they also want to live in secrecy so no one has a reason to go away from them. Loyalists are pretty much in agreement with this, with the local Christian church, basically. Equitarians just want to make a profit. Basically, they're capitalists who think that if they turn their magic into capitalism, if they integrate their magic into the capitalist system of, well, society, they'll be able to get ahead in life that way.
Huh. Well, if I had to, I'd say I was an Equitarian, but I ducked out of the fray a long time ago. Most of the senior enchanters are Equitarians. Irving, Wynne, Sweeney. Ulrid's a Libertarian, and a loud one at that. Mages have enough opposition from the outside without tearing our circles apart with infighting. But what can you do?
I want to say giving doesn't really help anyone.
An idealist, I see. Well, if you're going to change the world, you should get started immediately. Lots of world to cover.
Yeah, you're right. Alright, let's see. I think at this point we'll probably look at the codex at this point. Journal. Codex. Yeah, codex is your bestiary. And it gives you... Yeah, another aspect of circle life is a fraternity. When a mage becomes an enchanter, may ally himself for a fraternity. These are cliques in the cross-circle boundaries. Mages have common interests and goals who band together to ensure that their voice is heard. Within the College of Magi in Cumberland, the largest fraternities currently are Loyalists, who advocate loyalty and obedience to the Chantry. Equitarians, who advocate temperance and follow the distinct code of conduct which they believe all mages should hold themselves to. Libertarians, a growing fraternity, publicly maintaining a greater power for the circles, but secretly advocating a complete split from the Chantry. Dangerous opinion, naturally. Isolationists, small group that advocates withdrawing to remote territories to avoid conflicts with the Republics. And fifth and finally, I genuinely forgot there were 5. I played this game. I genuinely only really internalized there's only 4 fraternities, but only 4 major ones. But it's become pretty clear now that Lucrocians are the ones who are basically coming. The Lucrocians mage capitalism. Maintain that circle must do what is profitable first and foremost. Acquisition of wealth. Alliance between the Loyalists and the Equitarians has prevented the Libertarians from gaining much headway. But there are signs that the Equitarians may throw their support with the Libertarians later. That happens to be is predicted to come. Yeah, they'll predict civil war. And the 4 schools of magic. Like, the codex is really interesting and super fun to read, but we're not really gonna consume it unless we absolutely need to.
Do you need something? If not, step back. You're in my light.
Your light?
I'm trying to study. Have some consideration for a fellow mage.
You're well spoken for an elf.
What does that mean? Are you saying elves cannot be educated, that we lack the capacity to learn? Well, if you haven't realized by now, elves and humans are equal in the circle. I suppose it isn't entirely your fault. With so many elves living in alienages apart from humans, it's difficult for you to get a true idea of who we are. Ironically, many of us don't know who we are either.
Sometimes Bioware games have these uncomfortable lore dumps that don't necessarily flow from a genuine conversation. Compared to how we overheard and had the fraternity speak with how this guy just suddenly went into a filibuster about Mage, about elf lives. So what do you mean? Let's play up the ignorant button.
Elves have lived under human rule for so long that much of our history and culture has been lost. As a mage, I have an opportunity to prove myself.
That sounds like a noble goal. I am sure you'll succeed.
Thank you. But I should get back to my books.
Thank you for talking to me.
Good day.
No codex for him, probably because it's not that important.
It has begun.
Section of books we're missing. Magic Primal. Creation. And Hierarchy in the Circle. Okay. A Tranquil's here. There's another senior enchanter we could talk to, but... And that is spirit. Those don't really need to be explained too in depth. Alright then. Yeah. And yeah, that's pretty much the only things of real interest to do for the moment. Oh. Well,
greetings.
You, I guess.
I'm glad your harrowing went well.
Huh. Thank you, that's reassuring.
Some Templars I know discuss such things with glee. I don't share their enthusiasm. I try to serve the Maker first and foremost. As long as I am guided by his commandments, I cannot go wrong. Honestly, I've never seen an abomination, or been called on to slay one.
You don't know what one looks like?
As I said, I've never seen one, but when someone becomes an abomination, something must happen. But what if it's not obvious? Could abominations be walking among us right now?
What kind of Templar are so easily frightened?
This is still new to me. Maybe one day I'll be as dedicated and driven as Knight Commander Gregor.
He is a very dedicated man, sure.
You must be busy. Perhaps we can talk another time.
Man, your voice actor got to some S-H-I-T. It's super awkward talking to you, and you now. It really is. Oh my god.
It shall be done.
Oh my god. Alright. Okay.
Oh, it's you. I hear Irving's looking for you.
Alright. Alright then. Yeah. This person, one last encounter here.
I heard about your harrowing.
Congratulations on justice.
No, not her. Her, Kelly.
Blessed art thou who exists in the sight of the Maker.
Sure,
Blessed are the
silent.
penitents who seek his return. Blessed is the prophetess, purified by flame. May the chant reach the Maker's ears and tell him of our contrition. So let it be. Oh, I didn't see you there. I recite the Maker's blessings every day. It brings me peace in troubled times.
Just speaking words brings you peace.
It gives me hope that one day the Maker will hear us. That maybe I'll be forgiven and my curse will be lifted.
Is that right? What do you mean by curse?
Magic? What else?
You're being foolish. Magic is a gift.
Magic causes such misery. It's dangerous and vile and wicked. The Chantry must protect the world from us. Being born with something so terrible must be a punishment. I wish I could be rid of it.
Well, I mean... See, this is kind of what I mean. This isn't something like the Potterverse or even the Elder Scrolls. The downsides of being a mage in this game basically shape the way people view how people actually operate. Like, imagine if... So basically, because if you're a mage, you're connected to a dreamlike plane of existence, and you can get byjacked if you're not careful, no matter who or what you are. That's pretty much the main reason people have a problem with mages. It's basically like how the X-Men operates in, like, the X-Men films specifically. It's a mutant metaphor, but mage metaphor, stuff like that. There's more context and nuances to it, but for now, people can have, as you can see here, the nuances here are that some mages become self-hating because they're born with a condition that the Christian Church decides is immoral and wrong, and therefore they are sinners in the eyes of their Lord, and they must be punished for being born the incorrect way. Take that as you will. Yeah, that whole thing, it's really messy, depending on your actual, in real life political beliefs, so. Let's just be practical about this. If your problem is that you dislike having magic, be made tranquil then.
That takes the magic from me? It does, doesn't it?
It also takes away your ability to feel.
I had heard that, but life without magic is so tempting. I should go. My mentor only allows a few minutes each day for religious contemplation.
Now, if the circles are controlled by the Chantry anyway, I genuinely don't understand why. The weird thing is that you think that the circles will be all for forcing people to indulge in the circle stuff. It's a library, so you get all these neat little codex entries for running around and doing the right thing and then learning about stuff. Anyway.
Many have already gone to Ostagar. Wynne, Aldred, and most of the senior mages. We've committed enough of our own to this war effort.
Your own? Since when have you felt such kinship with the mages, Gregor? Or are you afraid to let the mages out from under Chantry supervision, where they can actually use their Maker-given powers?
How dare you suggest?
Gentlemen, please. Irving, someone is here to see you.
Let's see. What is going on?
Nothing concerning you at this moment. Come, child.
This is...
Yes, this is he.
Well, Irving, you're obviously busy. We will discuss this later.
Of course. Well, then, where was I? Oh, yes, this is Duncan of the Grey Wardens.
A Grey Warden? In the tower?
Grey Wardens go wherever duty sends them.
You've heard about the war brewing to the south, I expect. Duncan is recruiting mages to join the King's army at Ostagar.
Ooh. You know what? I would like to defend Ferelden. I am a very well-read man, so I understand that fundamentally speaking, the Darkspawn and the Blight are a huge bad news.
With the Darkspawn invading, we need all the help we can get, especially from the Circle.
This is exactly the type of thing I was talking about. We need to be out there in the open and show the common people that we are not afraid to risk our lives to protect them. Fighting against the Blight is like primo strategy. Alright, so what do you mean?
The power you mages wield is an asset to any army. Your spells are very effective against large groups of mindless Darkspawn. I fear if we don't drive them back, we may see another Blight.
Duncan, you worry the poor lad with talk of blights and darkspawn. This is a happy day for him.
We live in troubled times, my friend.
We should seize moments of levity, especially in troubled times. The harrowing is behind you. Your phylactery was sent to Denerim. You are officially a mage within the circle of Magi.
What is a phylactery?
You may not remember, but blood was taken from you when you first came to us. This blood is preserved within a phylactery.
So they can be hunted if they turn apostate.
We have few choices. The gift of magic is looked upon with suspicion and fear.
Not really.
We must prove we are strong enough to handle our power responsibly. You have done this. I present you with your robes, your staff, and a ring bearing the Circle's insignia. Wear them proudly, for you have earned them.
You know what? I'm gonna say thank you, sure.
It goes without saying that you shall not discuss the harrowing with those who have not undergone the rite. Now then, take your time to rest, or study in the library. The day is yours.
Bless you. Yeah, let's, sure.
I will return to my quarters.
Would you be so kind as to escort Duncan back to his room, child?
Escort a Grey Warden? Absolutely.
The guest quarters are on the east side of this floor, close to the library. Now, if you'll both excuse me, I have matters to discuss with Gregor.
Look at that. Now we're legit. Okay.
Thank you for walking with me. I'm glad for the company.
No problem, dude. I wanted to talk with you a little more.
Yes? What about?
Have there been many Darkspawn attacks?
A horde has formed within the Korkari wilds in the south. If they are not stopped, they will strike north into the valley. We Grey Wardens believe that an archdemon is leading the horde.
What is an archdemon?
Darkspawn do attack the surface in ragtag bands, but archdemons are capable of rallying the Darkspawn, turning them into an unstoppable force. A horde of Darkspawn, a veritable army. It is dire news indeed. I fear this is what we will have to face.
I've heard of Darkspawn sightings of the entire horde.
They usually move around in small groups, but there are always more of them, lurking underground, biding their time.
So this would be why the king is mustering an army. I can figure that from context. So why were Irving and Gregor arguing about the war, though?
It is not my place to comment.
I'd like to know.
As I said, it is not my place.
Then shall I move on?
Yes, let's. Yes, shouldn't we move along? Yes, what about?
What do Grey Wardens do?
Our duty is to battle Darkspawn wherever they appear. We are elves, humans, and dwarves united by this common purpose.
How? Yeah. I mean...
Yes, let's.
Yeah, okay. So basically, they were arguing about, from context, whether or not they should send even more of their wizards over to fight for Ostagar. And there's blood magic that's forbidden school. All these codex entries are there to tell you, give you an idea of how the setting actually operates. Talking to Duncan helped us play with that. Alright, so talk to Duncan, bring him over here.
Thank you for escorting me.
As you say.
This isn't your money, so I'll be taking it.
I'm glad I caught up to you. Are you done talking with Irving?
Going through another personal crisis?
Very funny. I need to talk to you. Do you remember what we discussed this morning?
Why are you whispering? It looks very suspicious.
Shh. I just want to make sure we're not overheard. We should go somewhere else. I don't feel safe talking here.
You starting to worry me, Jowan. Seriously.
I've been troubled. I'll explain. come with me, please.
Shit.
We should be safe here.
In the chapel, the Templar's favorite haunt.
We can see the door from here. If anyone comes, we'll change the subject.
Wait, I've seen you before.
I often attend to my duties in this chapel. Perhaps that is why I seem familiar.
A few months ago, I told you that I met a girl. This is Lily.
Ooh. An initiate? Jowen, what? That's kinda no-no.
So you can see why we wish to keep it a secret.
Lily's been given to the Chantry. She's not allowed to have relations with men. If anyone finds out, we'll both be in trouble.
To be completely fair, some religious doctrines prohibiting things like romantic interactions are a little weird. I don't see the point in that. I'm all for people being allowed to have their faith, but like, these bodies are created to do things like, you know, be with other people to continue our species. I'm just saying, obviously. Yeah, you know, I won't tell anyone, sure.
Thank you.
I'm not going to
I knew you'd
snitch
stand
on you
by
for
me.
dating a girl because of some rule in a religious doctrine telling you. But, I don't know. I mean, you can't seriously have brought me here to chat about love, though.
I wish that was the only thing I needed to talk about. Remember I said that I didn't think they wanted to give me my harrowing? I know why. They're going to make me tranquil. They'll take everything that I am from me. My dreams, hopes, fears, my love for Lily. All gone.
Yeah. I mean... yeah. Isn't it better than getting, like, beheaded, though?
Is it? It's just another kind of death. They'll extinguish my humanity. I'll just be a husk, breathing and existing, but not truly living.
Okay, so... how did you find out about this, anyway?
I saw the document on Gregor's table. It authorized the right on Jowen, and Irving had signed it.
Why would they do C. Wainway?
There's a rumor about me. People think I'm a blood mage. They think that making me a circle mage will endanger everyone.
And are they right about that?
Of course not. But it's not safe here for me anymore. I need to escape. I need to destroy my phylactery. Without it, they can't track me down. We need your help. Lily and I can't do this on our own.
Give us your word that you will help, and we will tell you what we intend.
Yeah, okay. Sure.
Thank you. We will never forget this.
So what's your plan?
I can get us into the repository, but there is a problem. There are 2 locks on the phylactery chamber door. The first enchanter and knight commander each hold 1 key. But it is just a door. There is power enough in this place to destroy all of Ferelden. What's a door to mages?
What? Yeah, it can't be that easy.
What if it is? We have to try. I once saw a rod of fire melt through a lock.
You
could get one
sir
from the stockroom.
and madam.
But Owain doesn't release such things to apprentices.
We'll go to this... well, let's not waste any more time then.
We should stay here. 1 mage at the stockroom will attract less attention than a mage, an apprentice, and an initiate.
I'll be back soon.
Good luck. Our prayers go with you.
Welcome to the Circle's stockroom of magical items.
Rods
fire. Of fire serve many purposes. Why do you wish to acquire this particular item?
I need to run up to my research into burning things.
Here is the form, request for Rod of Fire. Have it signed and dated by a senior enchanter. I will release a rod to you once I have the signed form.
You know what? I'll be back shortly, sure.
Thank you.
So, the reason we're doing this is because you have a couple of options. You can talk to any of the other senior enchanter characters we've met so far. Technically, yeah. This gate doesn't have to walk in a circle. Just walk over here.
Still here?
Will you sign this form?
Getting back to your studies so quickly after the harrowing, most mages need at least a week to recuperate. But no matter. It's good to see you're so eager to get back to work. What exactly are you doing with the rod?
Studying the combustible properties of marsh flora.
All right. Basically, you're going to burn plants?
It's for a good cause.
Well, bring me your proposal and I'll look over it.
Proposal?
A brief overview of the research you intend to do. Properly referenced and footnoted. Go on, get started on that then.
And that's a done. You can talk to this person. He's the easiest one to persuade. You can also talk to Senior Enchanter Irving and Double Cross Jowen, if that's your inclination. But what we're going to be doing is this route to get more experience.
Yes?
Can you sign this form for me? Actually, who are you?
Senior Enchanter Leora, in charge of the Circle's laboratory. Is there something you want?
What's that door over there?
That leads to the Circle's cavern storerooms. There are caves running through the rock that the Circle is built upon. But of course, you know this.
Do you have rods of fire in there?
No, that's something the Tranquil deal in. This storeroom is for raw magical materials and alchemical substances. Lyrium, basilisk, blood, and so on.
Can you, can I look? Can you lock the door?
No, I can't let anyone in there just now.
Why?
There are just things in there that I would prefer to keep safe.
Aren't they stores meant to be used?
Yes, but I am in the midst of stock taking, checking inventory, and I can't let anyone in there in case they mess things up. Yes.
That's why you're out here and not in there.
Because I am taking a break. I hate the musty smell of caves, and Look, I'll tell you the truth. Just keep it to yourself. There is an infestation of spiders in the caves. I don't know how they got in there, but it's probably my fault. I was promoted to Senior Enchanter less than a fortnight ago, and I don't want anyone to find out. They'll think I'm incompetent.
If you sign this form, I'll deal with the spiders.
You need a rod of fire. Interesting. Well, your proposal sounds fair. Clear out the storerooms and I will sign your form.
Alright, I'll do it.
Wonderful. Here is the key. Oh, and be careful in there. I'd really like to keep the damage done to the Circle's property to a minimum.
It has begun.
So, dungeon-wise, we're technically still doing a tutorial dungeon, but... yeah, basically the important thing here is that we're going to take care of some spiders. Oh god, spiders. If you guys hate giant spiders, you will hate this game. I will just let you know that right now.
Shall be done. Shall be done. It's a fine thing we've done.
Let's see. gonna use the full model skills. Home, educated, reading a skill book. I'm gonna use that to give us a cunning point. And we're gonna use the Grimoire to for base. Might not. Spiders and Mabari have the ability to use Overwhelm. A technique that, well, they basically are really good at trapping you.
As you say.
Wins. So defense in these games isn't physical defense, by the way. It's more like a resistance to... It increases your ability to dodge missile attacks. As well as physical attacks. It's actually increasing your ability to evade. Fade Striders gives you a magic point. Accolade Staff gives you 2 spell power. So basically, 1 point magic gives you 1 more point of spell power. So the Accolade Staff is actually better for us at the moment. While the Fade Striders are also technically better since